All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Link Click, Season 1, Episode 5. Oh boy.
Yeah, we gotta save Cheng Xiaoxi's family, which, no, you can't do that. That was a node. That was one of the things that Lu Guang was like, no, you can't just do that. So
Making
he didn't
people
tell him about the timeline of where this lined up with his family.
Which apparently this is an actual like natural disaster that did happen in history. Good to know. But yeah, making people be alive that weren't supposed to be alive. That's kind of like the main definition of something that would really cause changes in the timeline.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more than that. It's the classic one of, you know, how many more people would be on the planet right now if the Titanic disaster didn't happen.
Right.
Because of the generational effects of that.
Yep.
So pretty wild stuff. Given that Lu Guang didn't tell him this, though, this is more important because it's the, hey, I don't know what Cheng Xiaoxi would do, but also I don't necessarily trust him with this information and this power. So,
and yet at the same time, how much of a betrayal is that? Because yes, timeline, but also you didn't tell the dude that maybe there's a possible chance, even if it's a terrible idea, that he could save his family.
Right. So, yeah. Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, she ran after him. Oh.
Yeah, there's no way. And he's on a timetable too, like not just because of the disaster, but like
yeah. Okay.
Do you know that? Like,
no, of course he doesn't know that.
Right.
He's trying to get him to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Your younger self is here.
走，赶紧走！你搞笑呢？我这膝盖都还没消肿，能走哪儿？
Yeah.
小，
oh.
陆鸿明都这个样子了，你还把他拉到哪儿去嘛？就是你把他带坏的，是不是？
我是真的想帮
Oh
你
my God.
Shit.
今天风光一时，就能对别人指手
Yeah.
Oh man.
陈潇他肯定是有原因的。
You can't just say what it is. Oh no, he's gonna say exactly what it is.
Oh no.
帮我去他市里吧，赶紧和他联系，今晚就去他那里避一避。
你这个女子，还背着我跟那个爱钱的来偷偷联系。
Wow, that's what she focuses
啥
on.
子？你还真的想去四川念书啊
Oh my
你
God.
要是跟到那个没得良心的混蛋，就不要认我这个妈了。
刘蒙不是说还没有决定吗？
Yeah.
一个天天想到去县头打球。
Yeah, everyone wants to leave me. Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck.
你既挽救不了注定会死的人，就可能让另一批原本无辜的幸存者因此丧命。
Oh. Because people are actually coming here because of the ruckus. What's going on? Yeah.
陈潇，你发什么疯？凭什么说马上有地震？
I can't explain, just please trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah.
是杂志上写的，玛雅人语言。
Damn it.
地毯上贤说的话，啷个可以当真哦？
还好没醒了，不然真的都闹出笑话了。
Shit.
Hey, you're not changing things here then. You've accepted that. Go see if you can save your parents.
陈潇，走了哟。你这个娃儿还是要好生读书，学点正经的知识才好哦。
Nothing you can do, man.
能不能救救妈妈？
Oh.
只要一个，只要让我救他一个人就好。陈潇当时碰巧在饭厅，躲过一劫。
Oh, okay. So you should actually stay there.
今天晚上8点半会发生
Yeah,
地
it's
震。
still sitting with him a little bit.
别拿了，把命保住了，家里这些都可以再挣的。
好了好了，晓得了，马上就好。
Fuck, that's real close.
哎呀，你这个娃儿。
Yeah, if he was found in the dining room, you should just stay in the dining room.
今天晚上不会真有地震吧？
That's smart, actually. Just stay under a heavy thing here. Yep.
深更半夜的陪你在这抢门儿。
陆光，地震会不会真的就没再发生？
No.
糟了，少两样东西。
No. Oh, fuck.
你别动，要什么我去帮你拿。
Yeah. Shit.
流氓，妈！
Shit.
小小，
别出来！
Oh, okay. He's fine. He's fine.
Fuck, man.
我还好。
Oh, did she dive over him to protect him?
Yeah, just
Oh,
like when
she
she saw
did.
me roll the eyes.
She jumped on top of him to shield him.
有妈妈在，
Oh.
只要妈妈在，你就没得事。
And he knows. He's just...
妈妈度过的宿舍，学习上教不到你啥子。我唯一能做的，就是支持我最爱的两个人，
Don't do this
去
show.
做他们想做的事。所以小小爱打球就去打嘛，想去死里头就去死里头。不要怪妈妈太自私了，我就有时候一想到你要离开，就舍不得。
And this is like therapy healing for him
Yeah,
who
yeah,
lost
yeah.
his mother. And now
Uh-huh.
he's getting to hear someone else's mother say these things to him.
老骨头就轻轻
No
Yeah.
way!
Yeah, twist the knife, why don't you?
我怕黑，要妈妈
Yeah.
陪。哦，
Oh.
怕，小事不怕。
Yeah, in the same lullaby.
小宝贝，哦，我的眼睛小。
But yeah, it's healing for him.
And
It's
maybe this
positive. This is happy.
is this what Lu Guang gave him basically? I can't actually save her, but I can.
No, I don't think he's thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
Come on. Like,
Yeah, because I don't think he actually sees the rippling consequences. He just
no, he
sees
could
the
have popped
future
out
of
of the
timeline
photo
they're
a long
on.
time ago. Like,
Yeah. Not calling her auntie. Fuck. Nope.
我刚听见有哭声，下面可能有人。
he stayed the whole time.
记者同志，这里正在施工，这里是我的家，我要找我的老婆玩。
Fuck.
地震发生后的短4人数，
我妈还在
目
里面
前还没得到详细的
快救她出来！
同学，你先冷静，剩下的事交给我们来处理。
她还活着，
No.
求求你们快救救她！快救救她！
Oh my god, the voice acting is so good.
该快走嘛！再见了，亲爱的。
That's brutal.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, hold him, man. Yeah.
既然不能救他们，那带到的那些话又有什么意义呢？
It's a good question.
It's not about us. It's about them having some closure.
相机有些损坏了， 你看看还能洗吗？
扫了，扫2样东西。
哎，你别动，
Yeah.
要什么我去帮你拿。
相机，
The
你快
camera,
找我
yeah.
相机。
最近我总是梦到当时和龙阳一中的比赛，我作为你的替补上场，竟然又是灌篮又是3分，把对面打得落花流水。梦醒了，就特别留恋能一起打球的日子。但没了放学轮流抢篮筐的你们，没了责怪我投篮不长眼的你们，没了就算这样还愿意把球传给我的你们，也就不再那么令人兴奋和着迷了。所以，
元宵，过来一起打球啊！别傻站着了，快过来！
感谢你，队长，是你的支柱，让我增添了对友情的记忆。
Nice. Rather than forget about it or.
当我听到你要去市里的消息，我真的为你感到高兴。市里有更好的教育资源，更大的发展前景，所以我希望你能尽早去，马上去，最好立刻就动身。而我也会努力在不久之后考上市里的重点学校，然后追上你。
好，大哥。
你不是最讨厌爸拍照了吗？
哼，我是讨厌他嘛，天天端着个相机给别个拍的。
Oh, they take pictures of us.
给你妈来一张，看下这个相机还好不好用。
Beautiful.
So who's he married to then? Oh, he's gonna sing the song. Yeah. Yeah.
你俩这是唱哪出啊？
Whoa.
说不干就不干了。
只
Okay.
是想休息一下，照相馆的常规
Time off. Okay.
Yeah, at minimum.
程小石，这也是你的意思？
I'm surprised he's not quitting.
唉，好呗，什么时候调整好了再开始吧。
请问这儿是不是有个神婆能进入照片
Oh,
里的
serious
时光？
music.
不好意思啊，本店没有这个服务，更没有什么神婆，请您。
我叫肖丽，是个警察。
Okay.
Ah, cool.
All right.
They've done enough that it's
Yeah.
now they're being taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we ended
Okay.
this little mini arc.
Yep.
And we gave ourselves an emotional climax to all of it.
Yeah.
While we did not change the future in any overt, direct ways, the song effectively feels like it was passed on in a
Yeah.
really sweet way. Now, it might have just been something that she knew all along.
Yep.
But the fact that he was able to pass that on then to his kid,
Awesome.
really sweet.
Yep.
I love that this ended with the tie into the next episode because it was a very heavy middle
Oh, yeah.
chunk of this episode.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
I love that. So I originally thought that it was going to be something where Chang Jiaxi was going to be trying to save his parents wherever they were, but no, he's trying to save them. And that's a testament to how messy it must get inhabiting someone's body when you're in the past.
Sure.
To where
Yeah, you feel some of their stuff.
you feel their stuff, to the point where, for me, as I'm observing him, I'm thinking he's worried about his actual parents. But the thing is, for
I
him,
think it's just for him, it's
for
too
him-
far away. He
well,
couldn't actually save them.
sure, but
probably.
also from his angle, is there really that much difference at this point, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
because right now this person is his mom,
Yeah.
right? Even when he remembers to call her auntie or something, right?
Right.
It's still like, and that's completely removed from the fact that, oh, by the way, they're going to die the same way my parents died,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
so goddamn, right? And they don't end up being able to save them. And it wasn't just something where Lu Guang, like made a mistake or something. No,
Nope.
he even with all of that, specifically guided him in such a way so that the future would remain the same.
Right. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I love it. It's such a brutally vicious way to have the story give him catharsis for being able to be there in the moment when effectively his mother dies, so that he's able to hear her sing to him. He's able to heal through that moment. Now, it's a very traumatically intense moment and stuff.
Yes.
But he's also not like an 8-year-old boy anymore.
Yes,
he's not,
exactly.
He's not a little kid. He's also not really here.
When I've heard about exposure therapy, I didn't think it would go quite like this.
Right, exactly. And this was some kind of alternative of that, because this was very painful, but he stayed through it all because he would rather go through the pain in this new way than not be with his mother for one more night. And so I love the closure that both Cheng Xiaoxi and the client ended up getting here through this. So powerful. The photos being the one thing that effectively were changed, basically. That was the one thing that kind of was different in terms of the timeline side of things. It doesn't really affect the grand scheme of things, but it changed the client's perspective on the value of the past in those moments.
Yep, it makes them able to be able to
be cherished,
be cherished and look to the future with a bit more positivity. Be able to pass on the song to their kid, which awesome, wonderful. Like, yes, but man, I'm scared.
I'm scared of the dark. Please,
that destroyed me.
Yeah, that's the death cries, basically.
Yeah,
that's what you hear when someone's dying and bleeding out, and they don't have anyone there, and their vision starts to fade, and they're literally on the last 10 seconds of life.
And the thing is that I've seen lots of fictional character deaths and lots of tragic mom deaths, right? But when I think of a death happening and someone says I'm scared,
Mom, where are you?
It's the Tom Holland Spider-Man of Mr. Stark, I don't want to go, right?
Right.
It's not from the person who's there with the person that's dying, right? Like that. There's just something about it that and you pointed out the voice acting being stellar, because it absolutely
voice acting was incredible.
It was incredible, and it just it cut through everything else, and it's just like, shit. Forget Cheng Xiaoxi needing an out button. I need an out button.
Right. I get
emergency escape.
Right. I get a lot of emotional catharsis from being able to enter into places of emotion that these shows take me through, because it gives me that little vital piece of this area of my heart still works. It still is alive. It still feels dramatically, you know?
And you can feel those dramatic extreme things from within the safety of
exactly.
When the 22 minutes is over, it's done.
It's done, right. And so the idea that in this moment, Cheng Xiaoxi is kind of experiencing a similar thing to what we are, in that he's physically there, so he has it amped to 11, in that he's able to physically feel the pain of the pressure upon
the warmth
him
of the hand, and
the warmth of the hand, the knowledge that I can't turn to see, but I can tell based on where her body is that she basically leapt
right there
to shield me.
She's dying. Yeah.
Well, right, but I think this is what's I think fucking genius about the writing here, is that she wasn't in the dining room with him, according to Lu Guang's thing there. So that was changed. But the fact that he was found there, what I almost interpret in a fun way, is that because of him muddling with things, he actually almost killed the client.
Yes.
But because of his mom, she ended up saving his life by shielding part of his body by leaping on top of the back of him.
And while you could say well, if he knows that the thing's gonna happen, what if he just said, no, Mom, stay here, and he grabs her and holds her there? If the camera, the camera is not the most important thing, or or
Right.
something like that, right? Maybe
Whatever.
Who knows, right?
Who knows?
But here's what happened.
Here's what happened.
Right, and he's trying to do the best that he can, but he really doesn't know, right? And that's where, like, we have the bit with the police officer coming in at the end. Great, I love it. That's a wonderful way to have there be
Like,
dramatic,
whoa, hold up. Yeah.
right, dramatic plot conflict and
Yeah.
consequence in the present world and everything, right?
Sure.
Which this show, was bound to get into at some point.
Yeah. So here it is.
But the thing that I'm even more thankful for is the fact that they brought up that no, we are going to be taking a break from this work.
Yeah.
And that
This
I would
was
say,
emotionally taxing.
yeah, that I would say is like the bare minimum, because I still want there to be conversation with Chen
there will
Xiaoxi
be.
and Lu Guang about I can't, how would he be able to trust him, right? He can understand the decision of, hey, you can't just fuck with the future like that. But then being willing to being like, okay, and now I'll continue to go back into the past, even if it's after a month, of time away from this, right?
Right.
And potentially experience the same kind of things, have
Right.
it be something that you can't change. And oh, by the way, even if you do try to change it, he will actively deceive you for the sake of maintaining
he didn't follow his
the
orders.
future. Yep.
He said, get out, get out. What are you doing? Stop, get out.
Yep.
Leave the photo. You can't do anything. Get out.
Right.
And he ignored him. And I think this is a fun natural consequence that will affect the relationship, like you're saying, because it should.
Yep.
But it's the kind of thing where I don't blame Lu Guang for any of this.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Like
No.
he did everything exactly right, and if anything, it reveals that he does not have the ability to force Chen Xiaoxi out.
Right.
Meaning, while they clap hands, just as much will of Lu Guang's and Chen Xiaoxi's is like distributed in that moment. That's the only way they can get out. But once you're in the photo, you're the one in charge.
You're the one in
there.
the driver's seat. Yeah.
Right. So there is no clap that can happen across time and space. It's just tell me,
Yep.
like
Man in
what
the
you're
chair.
doing.
Yeah.
I'm here to support and help you, and I can look up things and check out newspaper clippings and all that, but you have to be the one to leave. And I like that Chen Xiaoxi made his decision, but it was very much they're still angry at each other.
Yep.
Not because they both have like completely like decided this will never happen again, but it's no, we've lost trust in each other. Because on the one hand, this was something where Lu Guang actively deceived Chen Xiaoxi. But two, Chen Xiaoxi and Lu Guang had rules.
Yes.
They had rules.
Yes.
And Chen
And they
Xiaoxi
were broken.
broke them.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have, some kind of basis for a relationship or anything like that, and someone goes, okay, we're going to interact on these bases, but you can't break this boundary, this rule. And then someone goes, well, my stuff is more important than your boundary. It's like, oh,
yeah,
that's
right, exactly.
That's classic. Like, hey, it's not a betrayal really on either of their parts.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't really communicate well.
If anything,
and thus the relationship's cracked.
If anything, this is the point where it's hey, maybe Lu Guang should get a different partner. If he's capable of it. And so far I'm going on the assumption that he is not actually capable of it, and that's why they're stuck together, because otherwise
I think there's a reason for that.
Right, whether it's power mechanical or like some other reason that is beyond that is making it go this way.
Well, there's a couple things at play here. One that I think is rather interesting, and I'm hoping that the story explores this, is that if this was something that is, just a part of their story, and it was always going to go this way because we've already been, looped in some way, or we're in some kind of iteration of the past already, that this is something where Lu Guang is painfully having to relive the experience and let it go the same way.
Oh,
And
it's the key juncture point or whatever,
is still ahead of them.
Well, or maybe this was one of them. Not
Sure.
Not what happened in the past that the people died, but the fact that, in
this present
in
moment.
the next layer up in the dream, you know,
right.
Like,
Well,
the
second it happened, this became the past. So it's
right,
it's
exactly.
a node. It's an important node.
And so, yeah, here you go. This is an important node
Right.
because, like, I mean, because of course it is,
Of
right?
course
You know,
it
if
is,
something
yeah.
like this didn't happen, regardless of even if you know, Cheng Jiaoxi is what I would call like a superhero level of recovery, where, you know, in a month he's able to continue doing it just fine, right?
I think unironically, like not even not unironically, but I think 100% seriously, in a few months he will be okay. But it is still the thing as to where he has lost the trust will still be broken a little bit,
regardless of whether he continues with the job or not. This is absolutely one of those events that would cause a butterfly effect, because Cheng Jiaoxi will remember this, right? Like Lu Guang will remember this,
mechanic.
right? You know, this isn't just something of, oh, what did you have for breakfast this morning? That's probably not important, you know, right? It's the no. This is like something he'll remember for the rest of his life.
While trapped under rubble, I heard someone else's mom, while I was in their body, sing the same song of lullaby as they died.
Yep, that my mom did, and
my mom did on the same night as my mom died.
Yeah.
And I'm trapped under the rubble with her. And then because I'm so afraid and scared and hopeful also that maybe something could change, I then sunk deeper into despair in a fun little cycle of things, in that, well, really only hope and despair can do is that you end up falling into the, oh, no, I ended up living the whole thing through because I had to know exactly what happened.
Right,
because
even after he gets pulled out and everything, and he knows how the future is, he's still saying, "Wait,
she's in there.
She's in there." Yeah, exactly. You know,
and they're like,
she just needs to wake up. Like, that's, you know, seeing Simba say, "Dad, wake up! It's time to go home." That's traumatizing enough as a little kid, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, but to have that happen, double dip a second time when he's not 8 years old or whatever anymore, right? He's an actual, like, grown young adult and everything, right? Like.
yeah.
I hope the medical benefits cover, you know, like,
emotional
therapists.
damage.
Yeah, cover emotional damage because goddamn.
Oh man, I love that he went to the friends. I love that he tried. I love that they kind of listened, because there maybe is a little bit of superstition amongst the old folks and stuff. They're like, "Ooh, my dog, yes."
You're right. Yeah, if he had literally said,
I had a dream.
I had a dream. They probably would.
One of them would have left.
Some of them would have left, right? But the fact that he's like, no, a magazine, an expert somewhere said,
right. Well, yes, but it could be a tabloid.
Sure.
I know. But I actually like that he did that, because that was him accepting that he can't change anything.
Right. He can't say, "I'm from the future,"
or give I had a vibe. You know, he gave the thing that would make them all, you know, doubt him.
Well, and not question it after the fact if any of them survive, right? Like, if one of them survives and it's I read in a magazine you know, they'd be like, "Oh fuck, he was right," you know. Then, but if it's I had a dream, or, you know, I had a vibe, then they'd be like, "What the fuck was that?" Right? You know, the fact that it's an answer that was ignored is that's a way to close that loop.
In a lot of ways, still, I think that you're right that it would have been more worrisome for the timeline's sake if that was the case. But like, I remember when this was, but I remember looking up like ways in which human beings predicted natural disasters and saved like tons of people. It was like some YouTube video that had a list of tons of them, and some of them are like subconscious things where someone is like, "Hey, Mom, I think we should leave," and then like a tree falls in their house that night, and you know, like 5 people live. But another one was that there was a girl who could tell when she was at the beach one day in India that there were tsunami signs on the beach. And the thing is that because she had just learned about tsunamis and stuff, she told her family and stuff about the signs and things like that. And her family was like, they actually took it seriously because they knew she had just learned about it.
Right.
But if it had been the thing of where, like, you know, she hadn't just learned about it, but she had
if you just
like,
say without context, a giant wave is going to wipe out our home, you know.
Right. But the thing was that, like, this was one of the most devastating natural disasters in human history.
Holy
like
shit.
this tsunami, I think, killed over like 200 to 250,000 people. Like, and so this family and a bunch of like friends and stuff around them and stuff survived because they got out.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But it's the kind of thing where human beings, I feel like, throughout history have had, like, not sixth sense necessarily.
Yeah, but reality is stranger than fiction.
Reality is
right?
stranger than fiction, where they have basically like pattern matching stuff, and they go, "Huh, something feels weird."
Right. In the more like regular things that people are probably more familiar with, it's the old farmer that's like, I feel a storm in my bones, right?
Because they actually do.
They actually do.
There's magnetic stuff going on.
Yeah, the change in air pressure, things like that, and they can just tell, right? Yeah. But with something like this,
But yeah, it's got to be even worse when you're a time traveler and you know specifically exactly what's going to happen, and then
down to the time,
because probably you were sung to sleep so well. You don't really remember a lot of this, and I actually really think that there's an angle that we could get into this, is that the reason why he wanted to stay is not just because he wanted to make sure that she was potentially alive, but there's also an element of where he selectively blocked off part of the details of this memory.
Oh, okay.
Because he was asleep and he was young, so by him being there, he gets to kind of peek behind the curtain of what actually happened.
Sure.
Like, what did this feel like? What did my mom go through?
Because I can't remember what the details of when he talked about, like, what happened with his actual parents and everything. But I want to say it was something where part of the biggest emotional baggage that came from it was the fact that he just wasn't there when it happened. And so and then mom and dad never came home, right? I could be getting that wrong. But that, if it's that totally ties into the thing of wanting to stay with her. If it's something where, he trauma blocked it, then exactly
whatever it is, the thing is that it happened so long ago and stuff that this was a thing that gave him the opportunity to live it another time. But another thing, just a small little detail I really, really like in particular, is that they were going to tear down the basketball court. Like, that was a specific thing there, but because of the earthquake, it happened anyway.
Right.
It's this kind of thing that I'm maybe noticing a little bit, but I think I'm reading too much into this. But I'm also like looking for these kinds of things. So this is a way that humans can find patterns where there are none intentionally. But the idea with things happening in previous episodes where it was already going to go this way, but something like happened that made sure it went this way. And it's that
nature's double tap.
Right. And it's that whole thing that makes me go, that's really like sad, because one, they love that basketball court.
Yeah.
But two, it's also the, if we get into at some point the mechanics of time and maybe also like, beings that operate independently through time and space and all that, I am curious to see what are the moments that have already been in the show like that, where it's been things were going this way, but we needed to double tap and make sure that they were like definitively going this way.
That's a good point, because
like an example, just to bring this up, is that the police officer guy came in like right when they were deciding. Like, it's almost eerily like obviously meta and episode limits, but
and given that you're dealing with butterfly effect stuff and they've been doing this at all in a lot of ways, it would make sense in some areas that the idea of the critical junctures and nodes within time is actually testament to the fact that the universe itself does have some tendency to want things to revert to its original way of happening. Because otherwise, who knows? Sometimes I feel differently when I have actually a healthy breakfast versus a shitty breakfast. And that could actually cause me to make different decisions throughout the day, right? Because I'm feeling kind of groggy, so I'm not going to be productive. And then as a result of that, I don't do this thing. And that could, that could like domino into other things.
Oh, shoot. Like, I know that's 100% the case with me, because I have to do a bunch of like reflection and introspection a lot with regards to my like mental health. But I will specifically like mantra my way into the morning to make sure I'm attacking the day with a positive vibe and stuff. If I don't do that, I just generally have more mediocre day. Like
Yeah.
it's just just true. Like
And this shit is like documented down to the level where there was a study that people did where they had people they had someone like have someone talk to another person, but they specifically had them like hand them a drink or something, I want to say, as they like go to tie their shoes, right? And the only difference, actually, even though people don't know this, is whether the drink was hot or cold. Oh. And how that influenced their memory of the interaction with the person themselves. Whoa. Right? And that it did actually have an effect, right?
Wow.
That the association of a warm drink or a cold drink influenced how they perceived this individual, right? And so how much more so with something, you know, like within our own lives and things like that, right?
Right.
So
did you bump into the person at the train station and they kind of went, or they go, oh, sorry.
Right, exactly. You know? Like sometimes I'll milk a bad 5 seconds or 5 minutes of my day for 5 hours, right? You know, like that shit can totally happen.
Right.
And so this kind of circles back to one of the things that I want to get into is that the fact that Lu Guang is able to talk with this degree of certainty about the if you change things, this will happen.
Right.
That could be part of his power where, you know, as a result of knowing details about the time that they're jumping back to, it's not just with the actions that were taken in the past, it's also like some of the spiderwebbing actions, you know?
Maybe.
That could totally be the case, and maybe that helped him guide things to still have the mom die in this, you know, iteration.
Maybe.
Or maybe this is how it was kind of always going to go. But if it's not that, and he is able to say with certainty, the future will change and things like that, and he's right, is that because he's done something like that before?
Oh,
right?
I 100% believe that's what it is.
Right.
That's why I think that's like another reason why I think that we're in already some kind of a
like
jumped
super,
back
you know,
kind of thing. Yeah. And Lu Guang is the one that's suffering through it, basically.
Right.
That's why he has the bags under his eyes. That's why he just kind of is generally tired. It just... It just feels right. And all he would need to have is just another partner.
Yep.
And you could be doing this an infinite number of times, depending on how many partners you have.
Yep. And with the whole bags under his eyes thing, that was something that I wanted to point out. I liked that the show showcased that he had the puffy eyes after the next day,
right?
Which
he
shows
cried
that
for him.
He cried for him, right?
Yeah.
You know,
they're mentally linked. He felt all that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's while their relationship definitely got jostled as a result of this event. Right. Lu Guang, while he made the decision to save the grander timeline and all that stuff, that's not because he has no emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Even though his emotional connection is not the same because he's not actively
there
in it.
Yeah.
But
y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out my Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.